What's going on, Golden Grizzlies fans? Giovanni Moceri here with Tuburu Naivalurua of Oakland men's basketball here after practice, one day before their game against Toledo here at the arena at 3 o'clock. So, Tuburu, for this season, obviously I want to go to the preseason side of things. Preseason player of the year, all the kind of hype, number 2 picked in the league. Expectation coming into this season. How do you think Oakland has lived up to that ranking, or is it something that just never comes to mind for you?
It's not really something I think about ever. I think a lot of that preseason stuff is just sort of like grandstanding for the future that nobody really knows. I mean, we're in a mid-major conference with a lot of turnover that happens every year. So I guess you never really know until the ball's thrown up in the air and we get on the court. Especially with the schedule that we play against the best schools in the country every single year. So it's hard to see where we are in comparison to our own competition. Obviously, we could play well. I mean, it happened this year. We played well against Purdue. We played well offensively against Michigan, let up a lot of points. We played really poorly against Houston, played great against UCF, and then we lost to Eastern Michigan. So, anything could really happen. That preseason stuff, it's all just conjecture. Nobody really cares. It's not really something you think about. And it's important for us, just like as the season goes on, slowly each game we find our identity, we find how we're going to play and how we're going to win. And I think so far this year, especially over the last couple of games, we've sort of started to find that identity. I think we've had 5 guys in double digits every game since Lamar, and pretty much every other game it's been a different top scorer. So that's just how we've moved through the season. You forget about what was said and just focus on now.
Now, I will say, maybe this is my perspective, as a result of you being picked player of the year, I would imagine a lot of the defensive focus on the other team is put towards you. And I know last year it was I would imagine it was more shared between you and Alan Mukeba. So for this year, even Colin was telling me that you often face the top defender of the opposing team. How have you been able to adjust to facing that top defender compared to last year?
It's been a little bit different, just in terms of Alan being here and being such a big physical presence on the block too made it harder for teams to sort of like plug the gap and double as hard, which has been different now. Obviously we have IG, who's been incredible the entire year, but their play styles are very different in that IG's a little bit more finesse than he is power. So he does a good job of wheeling, but he does a lot of his work sort of off the block in that high post area where he can catch it and face up and make decisions, that sort of thing. So whenever I've gotten the ball, it's definitely been different in terms of just like teams really load up on help, or whenever we run the isolation plays that Oakland's run for years. I've seen a lot of the film, guys would just sprint off their man and come over on help side to try and get a block. So it's been a tough adjustment, and I think as the season's sort of gone on, I've found ways to adjust slightly, taking or forcing less shots. I think early on, not really knowing what we were going to be as a team, not really knowing how the guys were going to produce offensively, I sort of tried to force my way to the rim, put up a lot of shots that were probably ill-advised, and just as like I said before, so many guys have scored in double digits. I found that that is not needed of me. So I get down there, I look out, find open shooters, find IG when he flashes, or Brody or Nassim or any of these guys open on the 3-point line to kick it out to. And that's just made our offense better and my life easier too, because once that starts happening and they sort of get into the flow of the game that way, they get their open shots, it makes it easier for me to then just go out there and play. The defensive focus is still very much there. I think Purdue Fort Wayne, the isolation play we run in the short corner a lot out of inbounds. I was doubled the entire night. They wouldn't let me touch the ball. So, it's been an adjustment as far as not scoring as much as I wanted to going into the season, but it's resulting in my teammates getting a lot of open looks, a lot of other guys being able to play one-on-one, and just overall team success. So it's been tough, but it's helped us ultimately. Like, if teams want to play us like that, that's fine. We have 4 other guys that'll burn the nets off.
Now, talk to me about the leadership role that you have on this team. I talked to Jake, one of the managers, in the preseason, talking about your leadership role, and maybe not as much rah-rah is your style, but talk to me about your leadership role on the team, being the most seasoned Golden Grizzly on the team, and all that kind of stuff. How have you been able to adjust as to that kind of top leadership role, or have you had it in last year too?
Yeah, it's been a little different. Obviously, I'm not Blake Lampman. Blake was very much loud. You could see it. He's yelling all the time. High energy guy. That was just him, his personality.
Yeah, DQ was kind of that way too, right?
DQ was a similar way too, and that's never really been me. I'm probably more similar to the way Trey was, sort of just quiet, kind of lead by example sort of person, or talk in the locker room. And that's what I do. I mean, I'm the only guy who's been here for longer than 2 years. I've been with Campy and Smitty and Bobby for a long time, so I sort of know how they operate and how they react to things. So for me, it's just been reassuring the guys on a lot of things, a lot of the concepts we run here, how we do things here, but just as well as the coaching styles of Smitty and Campy, because I'm sure if you've been to any of the games, they light people up all the time. So, for me, it's just making sure they understand that nothing that the coaches say is ever personal. Even if it comes off that way, it's never personal. I let them know about what it was like for me when I first started, what it was like for Jack even when he was here, what it was like for Trey, for Blake, and all those sorts of things. So it's really just being, I guess, the supportive, reassuring voice in the locker room. When Campy and Smitty are yelling, the world's not, it's not ending, like, the sky's not falling, we're okay, it's fine. That's just how they coach, just how they get their message across, and that sort of just calm us down, get us in the right frame of mind, and then play the game.
And now coming up to tomorrow's game against Toledo, looking at the past 2 years, the games have always been really interesting between the Golden Grizzlies and the Rockets. 2 years ago here in the arena, it was a last-second nail-biter loss at home, but then last year on the road, you guys blew the doors off of them. So that kind of competition between you guys and Toledo, what do we expect to see in tomorrow's game? What's kind of going to be the focus? What can Golden Grizzlies fans expect?
I think Toledo is going to come in very hungry. They're going to come in with a chip in their shoulder. Especially over the last couple of games, we've looked really good. We've been rolling. I'm sure they've probably heard some things and are sick of it, and they definitely remember us blowing them out last year. And they'll come in here 100% prepared to, kick our heads in. I can't really find any better words for that. So it'll be a very competitive game. At the same time, we're always prepared for that kind of challenge. I think we've proved against good competitions at the mid-major level where we're always prepared, where we can score on any team in the country, we can get stuffs whenever we need them, and we've closed out every close game that we played so far. So, it'll be good, it'll be competitive. Ultimately, it might get a little scrappy. It's a lot of guys from Michigan on that team that were either offered to come here and decided against it, so I'm sure they have some stuff that they want to prove to us too.
Well, Buru, thank you so much for joining us here. Thank you to all of you listening here on the GioMoShow. We'll have full Golden Grizzlies coverage all season long, so be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to stay tuned with everything here.